congratulations on the birth of your son Hugo, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I guess you have some family things going on there, and I understand it was quite overwhelming. The timing with your wife Kimberly being due while you were in the States, bowling the Tournament of Championships, and maybe you want to tell the viewers a little bit about how that all went.
Yeah, well, that was probably one of the most stressful times of my life, and it was also one of the most. I think I was so overwhelmed in how courageous and strong that my wife Kimberly was. That there were many times when I was laying in bed at the TOC, and I feel very emotional and get very worked up at thinking that at any moment my child could be born, and I'm not there to support my wife, and yet it was Kimberly who was the one that told me to go and do this and achieve my dream. Her goal for me was to win the TOC and make it all worthwhile leaving. I almost got there. I finished in third, and I felt like I almost achieved our goal. But Kimberly held up her end of the bargain. She said that if I go and win it, she will make sure the baby stays in there and waits for me. So she held up her end of the bargain, and it was one of the most amazing days of my life to come home and know that my baby hadn't been born yet when it was due 9 days before he came out. He could have come at any minute, and I was feeling pretty stressed, let alone the stress of the tournament and bowling against the best bowlers in the world, fighting for the Player of the Year, and then the two other guys that potentially could take that title are also at the very top of the TOC. It was very mind-boggling to say the least. But in the end, I'm happy with the result. I came home. I have a beautiful baby boy. Kimberly's doing well, and Aria is an awesome big sister. So I mightn't have too many friends on tour generally, but I have a very strong support group back here in Australia.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations again. So Jason, maybe you can just leave us with some fun facts. So just to kind of quick hit one-off things. So besides bowling, what's your favorite pastime?
I love movies. I'm a big movie fan. I don't care if it's a good movie, bad movie. I generally have to watch it all the way through. I just, whether I go by myself to the flicks or with a group, it doesn't really bother me. I really enjoy that 2 and a bit hours where you can kind of switch the brain off and kind of get submerged into a movie world.
Mm. So do you follow any sports regularly?
Big sports guy as well. Anything with a bat and a ball, I generally know a little bit about. Except for American football, I have no idea why they throw the yellow flags in half the time. And, my friends next to me, when they're watching the game, can automatically see a foul or a penalty immediately. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just one big mess. I have no idea what's going on. There's just people jumping on people, and occasionally someone throws a ball a long way to someone down the other end of the field, and it's good. So,
all right.
apart from American football, I pretty much have got my grasp on most American sports, but the big ones for me are cricket, rugby league, and rugby union. I don't mind watching a little bit of tennis.
All right. So I'll assume your favorite teams don't come from the NFL, but do you have any favorite teams?
Usually I will support the home team of a game where I first watched that sport. So the very first basketball game I ever saw was in Chicago. So I've become a little bit of a Chicago's Bull fan. Mm. I watched my very first baseball game in Philadelphia. So I'm a little bit of a Philadelphia fan.
Don't say that.
I've also gone to a lot of Chicago White Sox games, so I'm also a White Sox fan. And then one of my best friends in the world, Vic Meyerhoff, is a Dodger fan. So he's converted me to a Dodger. So the way that I look at it, I have multiple venues in baseball where I could win, and I'm okay with that.
It sounds good.
But with football, I couldn't even tell you what animals the teams are. I have no idea anything. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so I guess hockey's not a big thing in Australia, although my friends in Canada up here may may disagree.
No, we have field hockey. Field hockey is quite popular, but no, Australians weren't built to be in a rink full of ice. We're more of the outdoor, under the sun type of characters.
Sure. So maybe you can tell us a fun fact about your hometown. I guess it's Orange, New South Wales. Is that right?
Yeah, Orange, New South Wales. Fun fact about Orange. Let me see. It's a beautiful town. And it hasn't changed since 1942. I would say. No, I'm just kidding. It's a growing town, but it is a little slower paced than most cities because of its small population. But I'm trying to think of something that is a bit interesting. Okay, here's an interesting fact about Orange, New South Wales. We have a mountain here called Mount Canobolas, and Mount Canobolas is the highest point on the latitude of the world from here to South Africa. I don't know if there's too many. I actually don't think there's anywhere in between Australia and South Africa. So that fact isn't all that great because there's just nothing between us to stop it from being. But we brag that we are the highest point on our mountain from here to South Africa.
Yeah,
there's just ocean in between us, but we are the highest point.
That's fine. That'll be on the geography test later. And how about your favorite food?
In case my grandmother is watching this, I must say my nonna's pasta and homemade sauce is by far. I won't say which nonna because both grandparents make great pasta, so I'll leave them sitting on the fence. So it'll either be homemade pasta and homemade sauce, or I'm going to say my wife makes an unbelievable pumpkin risotto, and it for whatever reason I'm not a big pumpkin eater, but when she makes it, I go for thirds and fourths. So it's one of those two.
Yeah, it's a spouse's touch. And how about a favorite place away from home?
Favorite place away from home? It's a really good question. I really enjoy my time when I'm actually in Chicago. I do a lot of really cool things with some friends there. The Asbatti family, they look after me a lot and take me on some really nice restaurants and do some pretty cool sightseeing. But when my wife and I we went to New York City and we stayed in Manhattan, there's something about New York City that is unlike anywhere else in the world. It really captivated me. Kimberly and I went in the winter, so it was freezing cold. But that didn't stop us from walking around and going through Central Park, and the city that never sleeps, it really is true. I mean, Times Square is probably one of the most kind of energy-boosting auras I've ever stepped foot in. I mean, you walk into that area and you feel like you could stay there all day long. So I'm going to say for a long term, Chicago, but for a quick burst of fun, I'm going to say Manhattan, New York.
Great. All right, well, Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us here at TamaraBowling.com. I wish you all the best of luck with the Player of the Year, and congratulations again on the new baby, and best of luck with the family. And all I could say is we look forward to seeing you on TV in the summer shootout, I guess.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No worries. It's my pleasure. doing the interview. And yeah, I look forward to bowling with Team Storm in the Summer Series shootout held in Chicago. So
Your favorite place? Now we know.
one of my favorite places to go. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully Team Storm can come away with a win. That'll be fantastic.
Thank you for watching Timer Bowling Video Ball Reviews.